Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this final segment on this December the 30th. And, of course, we'll all be celebrating on January the 1st, Gene Smith's birthday when he turns.
Yes, we are.
He says, is it 67 or 76?
67.
I got the numbers wrong.
No, 76.
I got him back. But, he was before the trombone. But appreciate Gene and what's the man over there named?
Mr. Wong.
Mr. Wong. Ron Wong sitting in with us. But this has been a fun show. Appreciate all my co-hosts filling in. Stuart Suttles is still over there pushing the buttons. And now we switch to Birmingham, where we find Charlie Covington down in Birmingham visiting one of his sons, he and his wife Betty. And we couldn't close out the show any better than have the Outdoors of Larry Ray's poet laureate, and he's the old PL. I mean, that's him, But good morning, Charlie.
Good morning to you, and good morning to all the staff there.
Yeah, we're all here anxiously awaiting, and say a few words, and then we're going to have Charlie do his year-end poem. You can go to lroutdoors.com, click on the Charlie Covington link there, and get all of his poems. Click on the link for Ron Wong and find out in what country he's in now and where he's moving around.
Where he's eating.
Got a lot of pictures of Ron eating and hugging girls, which has really helped the website over the years and everything. And then, of course, Gene Smith is here. And click on the diner up there and see who's in the diner. And that's Charlie's in the diner. Of course,
me and Bill Dance talking.
And Ron's sitting there eating and looking at everybody.
Somebody's got to eat.
Somebody's got to eat.
Right.
All right. Charlie, let's go into the poem. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, first of all, I want to express to all the Outdoors with Larry Ray staff a very happy and healthy new year for 2018. It's been a real joy to have an association with all you guys. I just love it.
We love you too.
In regards to this poem, it's called Expressions of Yesteryear. And I know whenever we experience some significant holiday during the year, along with that comes back usually memories of pleasant times in the past, maybe of our childhood. This poem deals with some expressions I remember from my childhood, and It goes like this. I think most grandparents seem to possess a language that is all their own. Mine remembered their growing up days when certainly there was no telephone. When young, I'd walk to Grandma's house, which was not very far away, and when I'd knock on her back door, she was often heard to say, "Well, lift up the latch and walk in." But there was no latch on her door. It could only be locked from the inside, so I knew she meant something more. She explained that back in her childhood, and when folks lived way out from town, there were no chimes or buzzers, rather some simple contraptions found. A small rope hung out through a hole, tied to a latch inside by the door. And if it was visible from the porch, you could enter where lots of love was in store. And if my visit was rather brief, Grandma would say something like this. "Did you come here after a load of coal?" Confused, I still figured something amiss. Then one day, when I visited longer, she explained that expression to me. This is how folks got their fire again in the days before gas and electricity. You went to a neighbor with your fire pan, and you would ask for some glowing coals. But you didn't linger long in your task with food to cook and a family that was cold. Sometimes my visit would end near noon, and Grandma would say, "What's your hurry?" Then Grandpa would ask me to put on the feed bag. "You needn't rush off in a hurry." So I'd stick around for a home-cooked meal, maybe corn sticks and turnip greens, along with mashed potatoes and sliced tomatoes. Those were wonderful times to me, it seems. At times in the evening, I stayed too long, and Grandpa would sleep in his chair. His chin would droop down to rest on his chest, and I stared at his snow-white hair. Grandma would turn off her old radio and put all her crochet away, then turn to me with a rather deep sigh, saying, "It's nigh time to hit the hay." When small, this expression made no sense, and I knew we were not in a barn. Still, I associated it with going to bed. Was this what they said way back on the farm? Back then, turning in was like bedding down, and some poor mattresses were filled with hay. This phrase often heard in the country in those early days. This was just their way. Grandma and Grandpa are now both deceased, yet they left me a great legacy. They lived out their days loving the Lord, serving others, and walking humbly.
Charlie Covington, that's really good.
That was great.
Wow, excellent.
Man of words right there. And the title of that was what, Charlie?
Back when I was a child. Let's see, around 1950, 1951, 52, then.
What was the title of that poem?
Oh, Expressions of Yesteryear.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's brought back life.
I'm like Gene. I'm going to claim being 39 once again.
There you go.
Once again, and how many times are once again? Three, 4 times like that. But,
multiple times, I guess.
Yeah, Charlie, before we let you go, and we'll post that on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Tell our listeners a little bit about yourself. You was born in Little Rock, right?
Born in Little Rock. Also, my wife Betty grew up there. Went to Ouachita Baptist University. Grew up though with a father who loved the outdoors. In fact, his favorite hymn was "This Is My Father's World," which talks a lot about nature.
Uh-huh.
But Daddy loved to hunt squirrel and quail, and we loved to fish. I fished a whole lot at Lake Conway with my Uncle Bill.
Oh, yeah.
And loved to catch brim up there.
Yeah, that's
but just grew up loving the outdoors, and I still love it.
Yeah, he still loves it, and he's a handyman. I've got a call he's done for me. He can do a lot of things, craft work. Charlie, thank you, and Happy New Year to you and your family in Birmingham, and hope you have a safe trip home, okay?
Thank you so much. Enjoyed talking with you, and give my regards to all the staff.
They're listening there. Staff,
you
are.
Later,
Yeah.
Charlie.
See you where, Charlie.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, Charlie Covington. We're going to close out. Get that microphone around to Stuart. I want to find a little about Stuart before we close out with some closing words from Ron, because we could spend a whole show on Ron Wall. I can tell you that.
No, we can't.
Stuart, now I know you're filling in here for Greg, and we appreciate what you've done in your period of time. But
Thank you.
Tell our listeners a little bit about you.
Well, first off, Greg has some new responsibilities, radio-wise, that I can't really share too much on here. But,
yes, we'll do that in January.
Yes, but he'll, know he's been very appreciative of y'all, has done very hard work, many different ways.
Yeah.
So want to make sure of that before we get started with it. But, just helping out with y'all, doing the work over at Local 24.
Local 24. Now,
yes.
your work over there, what's...
Just mainly production behind the scenes, kind of helping out with graphics, audio, prompter, cameras, and all that. I'm kind of a utility man of sorts. And
you're from here?
Yes, I am. Born and raised, a Bartlett High graduate and a University of Memphis graduate. Go
all
Tigers.
Right,
go Tigers.
Okay. So when did you get out of Bartlett?
I got out of Bartlett 2011, graduated Memphis at 2015.
Good. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you had no idea when you stepped into that seat what was going to have this. You've learned some things, right?
Certainly. I've learned. It's too much to mention for sure, but very, very curious about outdoors and getting the opportunity of doing this show, learning many different people. I think last week the show with Dale Sanders, very interesting with his story of hiking the whole Appalachian Trail.
So this has been a learning experience for you, and you fit right in, and we appreciate your hard work and wish you success in whatever you might do. and I'm sure that we will call you out of the bullpen when we need you, and you've been there all the time, so we appreciate you, and I don't believe in luck, so just continue that career. Keep going the way you're doing right now.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year, all.
All right, that is Stuart Settles, and we appreciate him. And guys, as we sit around, we close this final segment out of this show. Ron, I know you get a kick out of being here, don't you? I mean,
I really, really do. And, it's a joy to get to talk to all of our wonderful guests.
Do we not have some good guests, right?
We really
it's
do.
Remarkable.
I think about all of the different kinds and types of people that we've talked to over the years.
All over the world. Even.
All over the world.
Yes.
And get to work with the finest people that I know in the radio industry. Larry, you for one, and admire and respect everything that you do, and I've certainly learned a lot. Hanging around Gene Smith, gosh, how much more fun can that be?
Well,
and with
ask
all
his
of
wife.
the other co-hosts, but I have to tell you, it's always a great learning experience. I hope that all of you listeners out there get something out of every show that we do, and I encourage you to, if you can't hear it when we air at 6 o'clock on Saturday mornings, you can go out to lroutdoors.com and listen to the whole show at your leisure, and you're going to find it really interesting, and just the people we get to talk to. It's
pretty amazing, and I know Stuart and Greg Ratliff, who is our normal guy. Well, normal. I mean, he is
a regular guy.
The
regular guys. Get those set up and get them to Guy Trebo, who does a wonderful job on our
great job on the
lroutdoors.com, and he gets them posted straight from these guys, and they're up by later Saturday afternoon. They're usually on the air and ready to roll. And, Gene, I know you've done this since we started.
Right.
You and Ronnie
Been
Shannon.
a trip, yeah.
You and Ronnie Shannon was kicking us off. And
downtown.
17 years ago in the dungeon, of course, at WMC at 1960 Union Avenue. We were there, and going through the gate and have to wait through all those different kind of things. But I appreciate you, Gene, your friendship. Over the many years, and thank you. You've had some health issues. You're an inspiration to so many people out there, and you can tell them you are doing better.
Yes, I am. The Lord has really helped me out. I've been really blessed in my life.
Yeah, you were just down to almost not seeing.
Yes, I was. I was losing my eyesight. I couldn't read. I couldn't read my Bible at church, so one of the ladies gave me one with bigger words, but since I got my new glasses and my eyes started getting better, I can read now. And
amazing.
I got like 20/30 vision now.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
Because we were worried about you.
Yeah.
And I know you were too.
Yes, I was. I was starting to get a little depressed.
Yes.
Of course, the Bible said this too shall pass, but I was kind of wanting it to hurry up and pass.
Just because of but you do so much, both of you guys, and we didn't even mention that. I forgot about the Jefferson Award and all the other things that he's won.
I joined the Hall of Fame a few years back, TWRA Hall of Fame.
That's right.
That was
as
a
well
surprise.
as you should be.
Yeah.
That was.
Well, whatever we do out here, folks, we do it for y'all. The
Exactly
listeners,
right.
We couldn't do it without you folks and listening to us. And I have people that they always tell me, "Well, I thought you were bigger than that." So I'm a big man on the radio.
Yes,
here.
you
Well,
are.
Larry, you talk about big.
Yeah.
2018 is going to be a big
It's going to
year.
be a big one, and we got so many things planned. Ron's already asking me about time slots for the next time, and he is in here, and of course we'll have some fishing. We're getting close to the Classic, believe it or not. It just sounds unbelievable that it's right around the corner.
Right, yeah.
And so we'll be talking about that. But if you have any suggestions, just go to lroutdoors.com or email me at lroutdoors@att.net, and I'll be glad to talk to you. Stuart, thank you. Ron, thank you.
Thank
and this
you.
is Larry Ray saying, as I do each and every Saturday morning, and somebody asked me about, where'd you get that statement? The old Benny Craig Channel 11 in
Yeah,
Little Rock.
yeah.
The bread man himself used to sit in the window and broadcast Arkansas Traveler baseball games, and you thought he was at the game. But anyway, he always closed it, and he wore his bread outfit. He was a TV man, but he still had a hat on. Anyway, he always said it doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. And I added with that, God bless the USA. We'll talk to y'all. 2018 is just around the corner. We'll be back next week. I'll be in some duck blind or deer blind or whatever, but
chattering.
So anyway, Stuart, thank you. Thank you, listeners out there, and a Happy New Year to all of y'all.
You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry.